name is Lynn Taylor. I'm an indie author interviewing other indie authors, and today we have RJ who wrote the book The Ties That Bind. And so we'll talk about that and other writing things. So, before we get into that, I actually have a really fun thing to tell you, and I'm really sad it didn't come in just yet. But um, I think your book is the last one of the Passport Book Project that will be going out for this year because there's so many more for me to like keep track of. It's coming in today. I was hoping to have it before the podcast, but it did not come in. So when it comes in, I will sticker it and send it or find a new reader and send it out.
I didn't know that mine got selected. How did I miss that?
No, you're
When
good.
when did that happen?
It was a total surprise. So we actually
Oh,
started.
okay. Yay, that's exciting.
So you and I started talking about it a while ago, but that's when we got into the ebook and the audiobook, and so I listened and read um, that version, and so then I was like, you know what, I think this one needs to go out too. So
Oh,
now it's going out.
well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm I need to talk to you about like the logistics of it, but I'm wanting to like start a chain of that of my own to like, get that going and like want to move up to Canada and then maybe get some like Canada representation going.
Yes, absolutely. Just fair warning, pick a number because I stopped at 20 and that's still an absurd amount of books to keep track of.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, pick like 10. Start. It just
Start
it's
smaller.
yeah, right. I was like, it's trying to track them. So like monthly, I feel like they move about the same time, and so I try to do them about in like chunks of five. So yours will go out the next chunk of five, which I think I have one more book to read, and then I'll have five ready to go. Um, and they move about monthly. So then about monthly, I just check in and be like, hey, where's the book?
Hey.
How's it going?
Yeah, make sure it doesn't get stuck with like, hey, we're like halfway through and like now not the author has the book. That's not
Yes.
great.
Yes, I had a few authors already ask, where's my book? I'm like, I don't know. Let me go
Not
look.
exactly.
It's
Somewhere good.
somewhere in the
Um,
world being read, hopefully. All right. Well, so I wanted to get that out of the way before I forgot, but yes, that will be moving. It'll let you know. I'll tag you and
hey,
everything, so you can see that journey as well as it goes on.
yeah, that's such a cool thing.
Yeah, I like it. I really, really can't wait for the first one to get back to the author.
Do you have a like an idea of how many people get it, or is it until like it gets full, or
I don't know. Yes, I think I feel like I'm going to keep an eye on it as much as I can. Thankfully, some of the people have been showing the book, and so they're showing how many stickers are in there. So once it
Oh,
looks like
okay,
it's
so
getting a little crowded, I'll be like, maybe you should just send it to the author.
send, send it back.
Yeah, I think it's ready.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so now that that's out of the way, let's talk about
Yeah.
you and your writing journey. So, what inspired you to start writing?
So I've always I think it's true for a lot of us. I've always been like a very bookish person. Always loved reading and writing. But at some point, I think it was like grade 5 or 6. Because before then I was like, I'm gonna be a writer when I grow up. And then it's like, no, like being a writer is like saying you want to be an astronaut. Like no one's gonna get to be an astronaut. I can't be an astronaut. So then I was like, I'll just like do it for fun. And then I did it less and less. And then one day I was just kind of like, you know what? Like, not many people can be astronauts, but like, there's different tiers of being a writer. So I'm just gonna go be a writer and see what I can make of it. And just decided to stop telling myself no, I guess.
Yeah, no, I love that. Well, because
Yeah.
that is the first thing that we hit is that's too high. We can't do that. Like that mountain's just too high to climb. Can't be done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a person.
It's for
I've
other
had,
people.
yeah, right. This is for someone else, not me. I actually had someone else that said the same thing recently on a podcast, and she said that she looked up how many words are in a regular novel, and she's like, I can't do that. That's a lot of words.
There's a lot of words.
Mhm. But you did, so you came back around, and so this is the ties that bind. Is that your first attempt at it, or were you kind of just playing around until this one just came out?
Yeah, it's my first attempt at like a novel length thing. I written like short stories and like, pretentious poetry. I think like everyone like high school level angsty poetry and stuff growing up. But then like a few more like serious short stories and I'm like, well, I can do that. Let's just try and write a novel. And I had two ideas, and the original idea was, okay, I'm going to write like 5,000 words of one and then 5,000 words of the other, and then decide which one I want to keep going with. And I wrote 5,000 words for the ties that bind. And I'm like, okay, no, I'm just going with this one. I did not write a single word of the other one. I lied to myself. Um,
Yeah, but your mind knew, or the characters in your head
Yeah.
were like, "Hey, it's our time to shine. Let's go. We're ready." And you're like, "Okay."
Yes. Idea one out. And then I'm like, the second idea is gonna get done. And because then I'm like, okay, I'll do that book second. And then another idea came up, and I'm like, but now I need to do that one first. But the because the third one, the one that I didn't do initially is going to be like a trilogy or like a four-part book. So like I'm still plotting it in my head and like, well, I'm doing that. Let's do smaller, more manageable projects.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Fair warning, because you are newer to the writing area, or at least with your first debut novel. It's gonna get crazy. Go ahead and get a Word document. Like you're gonna get so many ideas. But what I tell all indie authors that are at any point, I'm like, write them down. Because even just like a scene, or like if you're just getting like just these random things for your whole four-book novel, short story, just write everything down. Because your brain will get overloaded very fast. But they're all good stuff and they can be used later.
Yeah, and you're on how many books do you have?
I have 8 books, but I have
Eight.
57 book ideas.
That's a
Yeah.
lot of
I
that's a
think
lot
I'm
of book
good until I
ideas.
die. Like,
Yeah, like we have a roadmap until this is as many as I can probably do.
yeah, yeah. So I came up with 2 more last night and I was like, no, I can't.
I think writer brain is just always thinking of,
Mhm.
new things, and then sometimes you'll be like, no, not the new shiny thing, the old established thing. Do that first.
Yes, yes, the new shiny thing. That's 100% what it is. Well, and I will say too, with your short stories, I actually my team just is dabbling into short stories. Like we didn't realize how big of an audience that was, how fun that is, and like how accomplishing it is to have because it's a challenge to make a full story in a short story. So if you have some of those that you're like, I don't know if I could really blow this up into a novel, I would just publish it as a short story. I mean, even if you retract it and make it a big novel later, but if you want to try to get something out there like that, that's totally an audience that's waiting for it.
I didn't realize there was much of a, audience for short story read outside of like, anthologies where it's like a whole book of short stories. And I was like, maybe I'll do that. But I'm like, then that's just like writing a whole book. And then I just want to write a whole book.
Well, no, and you know what? I could be wrong. I have not looked into this. I thought anthology was a bunch of different authors together, but they could be also just a bunch of small stories for the same author. I don't know. I'm learning things.
Yeah, I think it is like it's an either or because I have a
Oh, okay.
Stephen King Just After Sunset. I think it's marketed as an anthology and it's a bunch of, little short stories
All
of
right.
his.
I'm learning something new. Well, and you could also do that too. So like that's kind of what our team was getting into the short stories is we jumped into an anthology of a fellow TikToker. And she just opened up and was like, "Hey, does anyone want to submit stories to an anthology?" And you'd be surprised how quickly you can write up 10,000 words, especially since you've done a novel. Like that feels like cake to do.
Yeah, 10,000 words is
Yeah. So, I mean, you could always go that route, but yeah, I like G. Edward Martin. I don't know if you've seen him dabble on TikTok. He mostly publishes short stories, and there's a few other people that I follow. And like the books are small, but people love those. They love a
people
quick
love
little
them.
cozy book.
Yeah, easy and digestible, I guess, if you don't have to commit yourself to 100,000 words.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. An intimidating number.
Yeah.
Well, so let's talk about the ties that bind. For someone who hasn't heard of it and what it's about, do you have a little blurb you want to talk about?
Yeah, yes. I mean, I have the back of the book blurb, but like I'm weirdly bad about talking about my own book, but it's a cozy and it's I think a weird combination. It's a cozy found family book about grief and both moving past grief and how it's okay to be grieving. It's about Zoe, 14-year-old girl who lost her dad 2 years prior to the start of the story, and her home life is not really in a great place. She is sent off to live with her great aunt and uncle, strange relatives that she doesn't really know anything about, in a kind of spooky ish but nice Victorian house where there's some supernatural things maybe happening, and Zoe meets someone who's kind of going through loss and grief of their own, and they change each other and help each other, find joy and ponds in the connections they have with people, and yeah.
Oh,
It's
that was really good. That you
yeah,
covered everything. Yeah, because it's kind of
yeah,
hard to explain the paranormal aspect without giving away a good chunk
yeah.
of it. So that was good. No, you're right. It's very cozy. It's very nice, and like it's completely different than a lot of the books that are just like flooding TikTok right now because there's a lot of spice and violence. Like this is a very nice, like relaxing. I mean, have you marketed it as a young adult or like teenagers could read it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been I've been marketing it at like very much young adult, cozy. Um, And I very much, as a writer, just wanted to like after someone has read the book, I just want it to feel like a warm hug. Because like grief is such a personal, specific thing to every person. And I don't think I can say like, hey, like this is gonna fix your grief, or like here's the way to grieve properly. It's just like, hey, you're seen, other people have gone through it, deal with it at your own pace. Warm hug. That's
Yeah.
kind of the goal.
No, it was done really well. Like
Thank
I did
you.
feel like warm and bubbly at the end. Like okay, yeah, like this is it's a tough topic, but you did it delicately enough, and yeah, it did have the warm feel at the end. There was a happily ever after ending, and so I think you did a great job with that.
You.
Yeah. Well, and so you said you had a few other book ideas popping in your head. Do you have any
Yes.
current work in progress, or are you still kind of letting that four book download into your mind?
Yes, I am about 40,000 words into my next book, um, which is and it like I have a cover artist ready and like I'm chugging along. I am thinking it's going to be published in December of this year. So this one is it's young adult, which I think, and my next one is going to, I think I'm just a young adult author. I think that's just where I'm happiest because it's where like the emotions are volatile and like you're changing and not really sure what you want. It's like the most fun people to write. Like adults are boring. We're kind of established and set in our ways.
Right, or they want spice and violence, and we're like, okay, there's other things in the world. No, I get that.
Uh,
Well, and for like
yeah.
teenagers and young adults too, I feel like that a lot of people said that they really got inspired and sparked again into their writing career like in high school. And
Yep.
I feel like we do need to like spend some more time giving books out to like new books to the young adults and the youth that they can enjoy that's safe and can help them kind of get, inspired before they get into the adult books.
Yeah. Yeah. And like with that, so it's and then he pressed play is the title of it. It's a which there definitely are books, like Heartstopper and stuff, but it's a lot of queer people didn't get to date or like experience love in high school. So it's a late high school first love coming of age kind of romancy story with kissing level spice. Like ever I'm not sure like what is considered spice. It's like a bell pepper level spice. There's kissing
Right.
and like
Yeah. I had a friend, I think hers is a little bit more than kissing, but she called it cinnamon spice, and so that cracks me
cinnamon
up anytime
spice.
I say that. I'm like, a little cinnamon, a little sweet and spicy.
Just a little bit.
No, that's good. Well, and that's a good topic too, because again, I don't feel like there's a lot of books, and I just could not be seeing these books, so there probably is a lot, but there could be not a lot of books that hit specifically that, like in high school, being afraid to come out and express yourself of how you feel and who you
Yeah.
love.
Yep. I feel like even like no matter how much of that stuff there is, there can always be more of it because it's still something, a lot of people go through and, it can be a very lonely experience.
Yeah, absolutely,
I
especially in
hope
high
it's
school.
better than when I was growing up. Like I think it is from what I understand of the newer generation, but like it's still not 100% safe to, be 16 and be like, "Hey, I'm gay or I'm, bisexual or whatever." Anything that isn't straight white Christian male and
Right. No, I do also think, I hope that it is getting better. I feel like it has. Because I think about that for like my kiddos, like whatever, whoever they want to love later, like I don't want them to, hit that block and get
yeah.
bullied for things like that.
I have heard encouraging things from like my younger like nephews and like my second cousins is what they would be where like people who bully other people for being different are kind of then themselves bullied or like it doesn't have as much traction. It's like what the hell are you doing, you loser? Like no one cares about this. You're the dumb one. So like there's
Right.
more of that. So it's like that's encouraging.
So yeah, you talk about your future or this work in progress, and then you have a bunch of other future projects that you're excited about.
Yes. Um yeah,
Go.
I think I'm good for the next 5 books. So
Yeah. Yeah, and get that Word document because they're going to start flying in. I call them downloads. It literally just feels like just information dump from the universe. It's just like, here you go. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah, that that happened because it's like kind of just always in the background of my head, but there's been a couple times like I was out driving for Uber and there's song lyrics at one point in my work in progress, and I usually don't have stuff like this, but I'm like I need to like pull over, turn off Uber and like write down these lyrics that are coming to me because I'm like this is yeah, no, that's exactly what my brain has been like trying to do for the past like 2 days in the background, and then it just like bam, got it.
Yeah.
But right now, and I'm gonna forget it if I don't write it down.
And the best ideas will come to you in the car, in the shower, and right when you fall asleep. Like
Yes.
every time. So, if you had a new indie author approach you and like they have an idea or they just started writing the first few thousand words, what advice would you give them?
Definitely just keep writing. Like, and specifically, like thinking about writing isn't writing, wanting to write isn't right. Just keep writing as much as you can. Um, and then like personally for me, very much find people who you can connect with as an author who you can support them, they can support you because I feel like especially early on there's this attitude or this like ingrained thing of like okay, like I'm in competition with all these other people, like I need to make sure that my work is like better than theirs and I'm not going to promote, I'm not going to promote them, they're not going to promote me. We're in a contest with each other. And it's like, no, like we're all like book talk is such a, I mean, book talk is a lot of things, but the right parts of book talk are very supportive. I haven't met another author who hasn't wanted me to succeed, and another author who I haven't wanted. Well, okay, I haven't met this person, but there's been a few like red hat people who I'm like, I don't like your books. But for the most part, we all want each other to succeed, and it's like it takes some people, like a lot of people, maybe like what, like a day to read a book, but it takes authors like anywhere from months to years to write a book. So there'll always be more readers and more people reading than like there's not going to be too many books. So we're never in contest with each other. Sorry, that was long,
No,
but
you're good. You're good. And that's totally true because I don't remember exactly what I said before, but there was one point where I was like, we're this is the perfect market because we all are selling unique products. Like no one's book is exactly the same. And if it
yeah.
is, then you have a problem. But there's other problems there. But
Yeah.
everyone has a different book concept. And I think the fact that because we have a bunch of different genres and that not every reader is going to like every book, and that's fine. But we have all those different book ideas and short stories, long stories, series, like all kinds of things available that everyone's just being supportive because we just want to see each other succeed. I think we also all just want to see like indie authors
Yes.
succeed because this is a huge job. Let's just call it a job. It's a second job, third job for some people, but it's a lot. And so to see someone else who is struggling in marketing and writing and doing everything on their own and then they succeed, like that's a huge thing.
I love supporting authors, period, but the traditionally published superstars they're established they've got their own help it's all good to go. I really want to see some of my my mutuals really blow up. Like am I going to be not jealous but like ooh I wish I got as big as them, like if they get big sure, but I'm still gonna be like I'm so glad that they got big and like now I want to do that next.
Yeah, well, and there's two things with that. One, you could be like, if you knew them ahead of time, you'd be like, I knew that person. So like, so
Yeah.
one of the things I had an epiphany the other day was I was like, if any of my podcast guests like get big, I'll be like, I interviewed them before they got big. Like that's a really cool thing to think about. And I hope
Yeah.
everyone gets big. Like everyone I've interviewed, you're gonna get big, but just don't forget about me. Um,
No, I
no, and two, oh no, two, it flew away.
oh.
The thought's done. This happens once every podcast.
It's okay. It happens once every few minutes to me. Just like two or three thoughts, and then
Yeah, and then they're gone. I should just have a notepad with me. I don't know why I don't do that. But yeah, no, it's exciting to see people succeed in that. And
yeah.
oh, that was the other thing. Okay.
Oh,
The other thing is that if you see someone succeed and you've kind of watched them along the way, then you can be like, okay, so I know how to do it. Like me and Gia or Martin are really trying to work together to find the perfect like flow algorithm, fighting social media, everything. We're just trying to figure out like what is the path, and that way we can share it with everybody. So we'll let you know if we
yeah.
find it. But trying to, find the path with the algorithm and the readers and trying to get your niche and here's what you need to do, here's where you need to like I'm learning all kinds of things to help market the books and I know there's still more to learn. And so if we see someone take off, we're like, what did you do to get there?
What did you-
Help a friend out. Like
Yeah. And like some of it, at the end of the day, some of it is just luck. Like, the right book talker or, the right thing happened at the right moment to just get, because it's a book getting big is just about it getting in front of the right people and then it's spreading out. So sometimes it's just a little bit of luck that gets it inside or, to that point. And with the advice for the indie author to go back a little bit, write, and then once you've published your book, oh my God, market it because a lot of us, and I get that it's very tempting to do. We're writers, we're not marketers, but a lot of us seem to write the book, publish it, and then be like, all right, done, it's gonna sell itself. It's like, no, it is painfully not going to sell itself. I wish it did, but we're not, Suzanne Collins or anyone like that, where it's just like, yeah, I'm Suzanne Collins, I wrote a book. No, that's we don't get that yet.
yeah, yet, yes, I love that word. Manifest it.
Yes.
No, that's true. Yeah, that is a one of the big advices I try to give indie authors because I feel like that's the thing I keep running into with new authors is that they think as soon as I publish it, then it's just going to take off by itself, and it's like, no, market is kind of a thing I have to do too, and it's not fun. It can be. It is challenging. But like you said, it's trying to also get into the front of your audience and trying to find the audience for that book. And so, like for me. I'm a multi-genre person, so I can't be like I'm specifically romance or I'm specifically psychological. I'm everywhere. So trying to find my audience is like I have everything for everyone.
Just some of everything.
Yeah. So like if you stick with like you said, if you really like being the young adult author, then you could have that as your audience, and that makes it a little easier to market to just that audience and keep sticking with them.
Yeah. Yeah. Niches are definitely I'm comfortable in my in my little YA corner, I think.
Yeah. And we need YA books, so that's
Yeah.
perfect.
Like a lot of people that I've talked to, like, oh, so like you're writing for like teens. I'm like, well, like I'm sure teens will enjoy my book, but like a lot of YA readers are like my age, like, in the 30s. Like we grew up with, Twilight and Hunger Games and stuff like that. And we just kind of kept reading similar-ish books as we get older. So I think there's a lot of, 30-ish people reading my genre.
Yeah. It still baffles me that makes sense too, because it still baffles me that Twilight and Hunger Games are considered like YA. Like, no, those are like some good adult books too. Like, I
Yeah.
don't really feel like I'm a teenager for reading them. But so yeah, you can have something like that even as a YA, it can still take off. And then
Yeah.
you have adults and teenagers reading, and it becomes a movie and like all kinds of fun things. Like, you never know. Sky's the limit.
Yeah. I have a joke with my husband about it, but I have a brother who works in movie production in Vancouver, which is like Canada's Hollywood, kind of. And I'm like, well, like maybe I could send him one of my books, and he could be like, maybe let's get this into
Yeah,
a movie.
you're
One
ever
day,
bored.
they manifest. Why not?
Yes. Why not? You just gotta plug it in, just send him a book and be like, hey, just thought of you. And if he's reading it and he's like, I love this, I want to make this into a movie. There you go.
Well, there you go.
Well, so with the writing process, what is your least favorite part about the entire writing process?
So I genuinely do like the writing process. The tail end of editing, I guess, is my least favorite, where like I have read this book like five, six, seven times, and I'm like I still need to go through and look for little, like the little nitty-gritty stuff at the very end is not fun for me. I just wanna, write the book, it come out perfectly the first time, and that's it. So I guess like yeah, the tail end of the editing process is a lot for me.
Yeah, agree, 100%. I think at that point, I call it, I don't know if this is actually a term, but I call it reader fatigue, where like I'm just tired of reading the same story. And like I
Yeah.
know I'm skipping over things, which is why I love the beta readers. So I'm like, I can read this, but I will skip over this exact error every single time.
Yeah, they're like there's only so much an author can do on their own. Like you need to send your stuff to an editor or, beta readers or other sets of eyes who can see because there's like our brains are wired to go over certain stuff. So if there's like, he walked down the street a lot of us are going to miss the part. We're just going to
Mhm.
read the and move on. And we
Yeah,
don't want that in the final book.
yeah. I actually have this really cool superpower, or at least that's what my husband calls it, where I can find double spaces very easily.
Oh, that's good to have because double spaces are there were I'm not gonna lie, there were a few of those in I'm sure there's still a couple in there because I mean I edited the hell out of this book and it went to an editor, but things still slip through the cracks
Oh
and double
no,
spaces were one of them for me.
yeah, no, they'll still like slip through with an editor too, because I mean, unless you're, I mean, even if you hire someone from TikTok or something, but unless you have like I think a professional editor, like traditionally published, would have multiple editors look at it, so it's still even more sets of eyes. But if you only have one other set of eyes, like there's still things that are gonna fall through.
Yep.
There's
Yep.
like 80,000 to 100,000 words to look at. That's a lot.
Yeah, there's typos and little errors like that in traditionally published books.
Yeah.
Like I was talking to that about that with one of my friends who is like I love it. He's like a fanboy of my work, which is nice because some of my friends are like, "Oh yeah, you wrote a book, that's nice," and like never mention it again. And then other ones like him are like really championing, but he's like, no, like one of his he's like one of my favorite things to do is like find the little errors in like big books because I feel like I like found a little prize or something. So I'm like, hey, they're there, and I guess readers don't hate them. They just
Mhm.
hate them if there's like a lot of them.
Yeah. No, my husband does the same thing. I think he was reading Fourth Wing when it first came out, so she might have fixed it, but he was reading and he goes, "Oh, there's an error. There's an error." And he got like so excited about it. Because it's like finding like a lucky coin or something. Like
Yeah.
so yeah, no, it totally happens. Even the spaces definitely happen. I don't know why I can see those, but I don't know. But yeah, like the yeah, I will skip over that multiple times. My worst one was Mindscape. I think I fixed it. Someone will let me know if I haven't. But in Mindscape, an entire chapter, I changed the name of one of the characters. Like I just spelled it completely differently. Don't
Oh
even know
no.
how that happened. And I was like, I read this like 10 times. It came out 5 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, and I can see that very easily because I've done that too. I have a character Mickie Mickey in this one, and as I was going through, I'm like, sometimes you're like Micky, and I didn't notice that until like the fifth because I edit as I go. Everyone's like, "Oh, you need to just blind draft and go." Like I'm incapable of doing that. I have to go back and like read the chapter after I've written it for like little tweaks.
hmm Yes, no, I have to also. Anthony's really bad about that. He has to like go back like a full 2 chapters to be like, okay, I just got to dive back in. But that's kind of his method is he has to dive back into it and then just get the flow going. But as he's diving back in, he's like, I got to fix this and fix that, and he's editing it as he goes.
Yeah, that's what I do too, because I'm like, okay, like where was I emotionally when I was writing this? Let me reread the last bit to like jog my memory, and then I'm like, oh, look a little, let's change this and change this, and then it's like half an hour later, I'm like, I haven't written a single new word.
I haven't actually done anything.
Yep,
But you did edit, so I mean, there's always a win there.
yeah.
So you talk about your least favorite part of it. What is your most favorite part of it?
So like of the writing process or like the author process
I'd say
itself.
author process, like all the way through, even with the marketing part, which no one really likes, but
So it's maybe like narcissistic, but I really loved getting to like see people read my book and like, enjoy a thing that I wrote. Um I fully started out aware that lots of indie books struggle to find even like one, five, 10 readers. Um and I'm lucky or just I worked with Tawny for my audiobook and she helped me promote my book, like the base book, not just the audiobook. So I had some more readers kind of baked in at the start. And it's been really great just seeing people like, oh, like, I felt seen by this part, or like, oh, like I really loved Aunt Carol. She was like such a fun character. And like, that's the thing that I made that makes me so happy, and I want to do this more so that I can hear that more and feel that feeling more. It's like a little bit like not addictive, but it's very good motivation.
no, it's a little addictive. I agree. It is. It is like I don't like you said, it takes maybe a day or two for a reader to like really, if they sit down and just binge read it, they can really get it done in a day. And we take like years sometimes, or even months for sure at the minimum, to
Yeah.
knock out the book. And so you've poured your heart and soul into something like this, and for a reader to be like, "Hey, I not only purchased it or got it somehow, I read it, I connected with it." And like then the reviews come in, and you're like, so you even took extra time to review it. Like all of that feels so, that's like a big hug. Like that's like a
Yeah.
congratulatory thing.
I know a lot of authors really don't like reading the reviews, and I don't like check them obsessively, but like I like reading the reviews, and even the I've had like a few mediocre-ish ones. Like, oh yeah, okay, that's fair. Like that book wasn't for them, so it doesn't. The only It's not even a review. The only rating that I've got that's bothered me was I got a 2 star, no words, just boop. I'm like, at least tell me what you didn't like about it. Like, leave feedback, please.
Yes, yeah. No, any feedback is helpful. I try to tell that to the
Yeah,
indie authors too. I'm like, yes, negative reviews will come in. That, especially as you get more traction, there's just people that aren't going to like it, or people that don't understand, how much time and energy it takes to make a book, and so they're just meh. But there could be some like helpful critiques, and they're like, hey,
yeah.
this person repeated this word too many times. Like, oh, my bad. I'll fix that next time. Sorry. But yeah, the 2 star review is nothing. That's not helpful.
Nothing, just yeah.
But
Okay.
before we do get kicked out, I want to put in your social plug. So where can people find you and your books?
Yeah, so you can find me. I'm on Amazon. Robert J Halliwell is like where I have my most traction, and then Audible under the same name, and then my socials. It's Robert underscore writes 3 and Robert underscore writes 9 because for some reason 3 was taken, so I just squared it um, on TikTok and Instagram.
All right. And I'll put all of those in the description below too for them so they can
Yeah.
hopefully get to them quicker that way.
And then for book two, like I'm hoping that I'll have wider range, but Ingram Spark really messed up my cover no matter like how I aligned it or what I did with it. It kept on coming like completely misaligned. So I'm hoping for book two I'll have wider range. Being like, Barnes and Noble online store, where you can order it manually, not in the stores.
Yeah. No, that's exciting though, to be like, yeah, you can get my book at Barnes and Noble. Yeah. Flip
You
the
have to
hair.
specifically ask for it, but you can get it.
Right. But that is exciting. And so you
Yeah.
said book two will be, you're hoping for about December-ish, or I mean, you're just
Yeah.
gonna go with what it's going.
Yeah. December is the goal. If things take longer than February for like a Valentine's Day release would be like the latest I could ever see it getting out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's super exciting. Did you want to also do the artwork segment? I know that was kind of an odd one because we had a scheduled time to talk about or like to have our podcast, and then we had to cancel and all that, move it around.
Yes. I don't know if you can like can you pull those up on screen at all? Is that a
Yeah,
thing you
let me
can
see.
do? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So it was like very like it was serendipitous because I got car dog blanket and I was making a dog blanket for my narrator. So like 2 out of the 3 right there. So B is her dog, her Chihuahua is Babs, Barbara Streisand. Uh so I made that blanket and then I took my first ever like solo road trip a few states over to a anime convention that she was a guest at and I delivered her a dog blanket via car so it all kind of went together.
Yeah. No, I love that.
Mm.
And that was really crazy how all that worked out too. Uh,
Yeah. Just lined up.
it was really crazy how yeah, he was like, I'm currently working on a dog blanket right now
Dog
and I'm
blanket.
gonna drive in the car. And I was like, huh, okay, that
Huh.
works.
It just works out. The universe knew.
Well, and it's weird too because that's the first one I've had of that. So like I think every single artworks has been completely different. I feel like every single person has had a different way of taking those 3 words and making it into some form of art. And so like a blanket is a completely
Is
new one for me.
That's very well. I'm glad I could be different.
I love it. So we do have about a minute left. I very much appreciate you being on today, and we're very excited to see where book two is and when it comes out.
Yeah,
And
thank you for
seeing,
having me.
yeah, of course. Well, we want to see the ties that bind keep growing too, and just seeing all the interaction that's coming your way as an indie author.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Well, I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, you too.
All right, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.